Oh, hello. Do you think that Big Brother is watching? Or that the Illuminati are planning to take over the world? Have you had an encounter with a space alien today? If the answers to those questions is yes, then grab your hat. This is tinfoil hat time. Welcome back to tinfoil hat time. We are going to have a fascinating episode today. This is one of those ones, like, sometimes I have to just push the tinfoil hat time out of out of the air. But there's other times that I am so able to put together something very good, very well put together, and even I have an article for this one as well prior to actually running the show. And the reason is occasionally I my heart is just full of stuff and it just needs to come out. And I do realize that I've been sitting here reading my references and I never built my title slide yet. So I'm doing that right now. I was like, I want to go to the title slide. I'm like, no, I still have my title slide from last week on there. So there we are. Fortunately, I have nice templates set up that I should hopefully be able to do that. Oh, well, we're going to see last week's title for a quick second as it transitions. There we go. Hey, there's our title. We are talking today about Croc-Pot solutions for microwave problems. And the reason I picked that title as a name, Croc-Pot solutions for microwave problems, is that we have been pushed so far into a culture of instant gratification. And the problem is that an instantly gratified culture is easy to control. And that is how this ended up on a tinfoil hat time. So we're going to start out by saying hello to everybody. So Shawter's online, hello, greetings. And Piggy Uniform, how's it going there? That's everybody that's on right now. There's some other people, leave some comments on there. I can get going there. All right. So Piggy Uniform is planning on going anti-Google. I'm as anti-Google as I can having a YouTube channel, but, what more do you want, I fully read the privacy policy and now I want to die. Yeah, read privacy policies of things. It is intriguing what is out there. The privacy policies out there are very scary. But in reality, they're good everywhere. And that's why I take this privacy stance, why I use open source platforms, free things with small paragraphs. Hey, don't do something stupid and blame us. Hey, I'm all good with that. But that's why I want to focus on having my own office systems in place so my data is not going in the hands of other people. And that is very good. So kudos to you for reading that. I wish everybody read the privacy policies because that's kind of, that's important. Because realize that pretty much every service we use on the internet, we are agreeing to the terms and conditions. And if we don't really truly agree on those terms and conditions, we could sell our soul and not realize it. And somebody did that as a April Fool's joke. For one day, there was a game store in the UK that actually had in their terms and conditions by using the website, you agreed to transfer to them your immortal soul. Just kind of funny. Lack of privacy policy. All right. I love your eyeball there, by the way. Tish. All right, nice blue eyeball there. All right, so we are going to start out here, and I'm going to lay out the argument that a lot of the businesses has moved us in the direction of instant gratification, and the reason we were moved towards instant gratification is to control us. Now, I'm going to pull forth an intriguing way, because understand that our world is starting to indoctrinate people younger and younger and younger into little things. It's to the point where if you are a young person, and I remember I'm working on a collaborative project with a younger person right now, and we're like, pass me the information. I'm like, did you save the document? Basically, I handed him my Surface computer because we had a time where we were in the same room. So I handed him my Surface computer, which I'm using to write our co-authored book. And I was like, yeah, just go ahead and write up your document right here. That way it saves me the steps from transferring it over if you write it elsewhere. Because he's involved in the school system, and so he's on Google Docs. And here's the problem that Google Docs is like, he gets to the bottom, he shows me what it's right. I said, did you save it? He says, how do you do that? How do you save a document? But we're getting indoctrinated younger and younger. And I wanted to pull out a quote, and this is going to be a very radical quote from a very radical individual. And I'm going to highlight it just to show how this works and how people get so brought into a culture of instant gratification, because that is what we're going to be talking about today, is instant gratification. Okay, so we are actually going to be pulling a quote from, if my website thinks, there it is, from Tammy Bruce. So Tammy Bruce, back about 15 years ago, wrote this book, The Death of Right and Wrong. Now, Tammy Bruce is probably on the opposite end of the political spectrum from myself, but I love a lot of the things that she talks about in this book. Actually, I've not read it. I've read enough reviews about it. I really need to read it. I would love to read this book. She comes from the far left. She is a lesbian, a feminist, a pro-abortion person, pretty much about the opposite of me. But she writes this book. Of course, her subtitle is Exposing the Left's Assault on Our Culture and Values, and she's talking about the death of right and wrong. Now, if you are into Christian things, Chip Ingram did a sermon series. The newer version of it is called Culture Shock. The older version of it, I believe, is called Whatever Happened to Right and Wrong. And you can listen to that, and he actually talks a little bit about some of the things she is bringing up. Erwin Lutzer actually quotes from this book in a few sermons. Here's an interesting quote I wanted to pull out, this highlighted portion that is right here. And it says, and again, wherever you happen to lie, the reason I'm pulling this out isn't because I'm going to have this big this viewpoint approach, but just to say what this group of people is doing to introduce people to their views. So the radicals in control of the gay establishment want children in their world of moral decay, lack of self-restraint, and moral relativism. Why? How better to truly belong to the majority when you are really on the fringe than by taking possession of the next generation? By targeting children, you can start indoctrinating the next generation with the false construct that gay people deserve special treatment and special laws. And that's kind of I don't want to go there. I'm not making a value judgment about gay rights or anything else. I'm just saying it to say what their approach is. How else can the gay establishment actually get society to believe, borrowing from George Orwell, that gay people are indeed more equal than others? Of course, the only way to get that idea accepted is to condition people into accepting nihilism that forbids morality and judgment. The take-home message isn't how horrible this movement is. The take-home message is their approach is to prima nocta, if you like... what was that movie with Mel Gibson? Freedom! Braveheart. You like Braveheart, you can't get them out, breed them out by young indoctrination. And she goes on to discuss in her book a few points about introducing sexualization of children younger and younger, sex ed curricula, which are too graphic, all these types of things. And she says later on in the book, the quote is not on this particular review, but the quote is something to the general effect of the gay community wants kids addicted to bad stuff on the internet because it gives them a framework by which to reject the morality and the judgment. And so this is a fascinating quote from a fascinating book who's on the opposite end of the spectrum for me. And this goes to show that, hey, we can disagree with people and agree on some terms and conditions, because this woman here is saying that the thing is that we are bringing them into it at a younger and younger thing. So that is the whole principle with a lot of the companies in the school districts now, is we're pushing the tech so far in that kids do not even know what it is like to not stare at a computer screen most of the time, and do not accept the individual services that are available most of the time. And so that is kind of where we're looking at to say that we are bringing tech into our lives and into our families so young now. We are producing a culture of instant gratification that is seeking instant solutions, and then we wake up and go, there's challenges all around me. And here's the problem. We got into it really fast. we're looking for a fast way out. There isn't a fast way out. We have gotten into a microwave problem, but the solution is a long-term crock-pot. That is where we are going to go today. We're going to have a quick look at the comments, though, before we move on. Whew. DuckDuckGo for search, Proton for email. If you don't know what that is, look it up. I think Proton Mail is one people keep on recommending. I really need to do that. But still, YouTube. Next channel will be called Linux Snap. Piggy Uniform, what's your thought on start page? I hate DuckDuckGo. I just can't stand the format of it. But let me know what's your thought of DuckDuckGo versus start page. Let's see. Steady lad. Hey, LaShark, how's it going there? Lesbian feminist, what? Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm Christian and I scare. Awesome, Piggy Uniform. I'm very glad to hear that, buddy. That is cool. Yeah, Erwin Lutzer, and I'm going to track it down sometime this week, but Erwin Lutzer quoted from her book in one of his series, is either in the series Why Good People Do Bad Things, or it was the series, I forget the other series name, but he quoted from one of those, and it was just like, wow. Shortly after the book came out. But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But that is a person that is so powerful, what she writes, and she is from the viewpoint that is completely politically and socially different from me. But I wanted to start with that quote to say, wow, I agree with that person and what they're doing. Don't be scared, just live right. Always do what is right in God's eyes. Yeah, there's actually another one. One of my top 5 Christian books ever is called Good to Great in God's Eyes, which is actually sort of like a Christian edition-y type thing of the, I forget who wrote the book, but the book Good to Great, was it Jim Collins? It might have been Jim Collins. I think it's Jim Collins. Wrote the book Good to Great about why some businesses succeed, why some businesses fail. And he wrote that book about what are the things that cause businesses to be good versus business to be great. Chip Ingram wrote the book Good to Great in God's Eyes, talking about what it means to live life well in God's terms. Hey, every time I do a tinfoil hat time, the cat sits over here behind me and plays around with my bookshelf of gadgets. Hey, Anna Rita, how's it going there? Welcome. Fire, fire, fire. I'll try and light on fire. I can get some pretty hot here. Christians are already second-class citizens. The thing is, we need to be satisfied. Hey, guys, how quickly do you guys want me to get my Christian channel launched? How well would that go? I have a few videos. I have like 20-some videos on my Christian channel, which is called Our Walk in Christ. Let me know if you'd be interested in me doing that, because I literally do sermons, cultural issues, solid Bible verses. I try not to do as much of that on the Linux channel because I realize I have a broader audience. But it just kind of comes out. Never too much of a start page fan. Start page kind of Google powered. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Generally only use one Google service, YouTube. Live my life through my own terms. That bad though? Is that bad though? Well, it depends. Yeah, never mind. I don't want to get into quoting some scripture right now. Let's just go ahead and move on. So if you did not watch it, there is an article up on Switch to Linux. I have this. I'm just going to be kind of referring to this article here on my website. So there is a full article here. Also take note, I have references down here. We're actually be looking at these 4 articles today. Are going to be the ones that I pull up here. And with that, we'll look at the challenges and the problems. So briefly for me, what I started to notice is way back in the 80s and 90s, maybe 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever, fast food industries really started to push us to have faster service. Like, I remember I worked in fast food and they wanted that, like, during the day, lunchtime hour, 3 minutes. Stop, kitty, stop. 3 minutes was about the maximum time they wanted somebody on the drive-through. No. Cat's being mischievous. He gets to sit up here for a while. Hello, everybody. Switch to Linux. Pretty much what the idea is they wanted to get fast. We got our time. We were the night crew. We got our time actually down to an average of like 40 seconds or something. It was pretty fun. We were always fighting for the fastest food, in and out under 3 minutes, in and out under 3 minutes. And it got to the point where it drove us to this pure instant gratification to where we just could not wait any amount of time for any service. And so it wasn't just the fast food industry, but now of course we can do any amount of time, any food, any quickly, but now we can even get like 75 flavors of soda from these big machines. You guys see these big soda machines? I don't drink soda anymore, but you go down there and you can pick like is it cola, diet cola, root beer, is it Sprite, is it, whatever it is. And then you have like 75 flavor spikes. Would you like cherry in there? Would you like orange in there? Would you like vanilla in there? Would you like whatever? And so you can make like a cherry 7-Up or a cherry Sprite by picking the cherry and the 7-Up and mix it together. And woo, you got like any flavor you want is maximum refills. Anything is just fast. And it's just, of course, following that trend, what happened? We got fat. All right. And so it wasn't just there. Of course, fast food industry was one. The entertainment industry moves us. We used to actually have to like wait for the TV program to come on or plug in. Like, remember having to rewind the VCR tape? Oh, I gotta rewind the VCR tape or you know, I gotta stand up and put the DVD into the DVD player. But now it's like even DVR and your cable and your DVR is like slow. I gotta wait for the program to record. That's a bummer. So we buy streaming services to get every season, every movie, every program that we want instantly at the tip of our fingers now. Stream to every device, stream to every program. And what happens is we get so enamored with ourselves. We become so self-centered, so self-absorbed, so self. That's what ends up happening. So the food becomes fast. The media becomes fast. And a lot of this has been pushed on and brought forth by the internet explosion to the point where now we have internet on our computers. We have internet on our phones. We have internet on our devices. We have internet on like I used to have a Game Boy, right? It's just an old standard Game Boy. You can now get internet on your Game Boy. It's like, why? But that instant gratification is the very stuff that causes us to be so focused on a lot of these challenges. So that is the thing that we're fighting, is that all of this stuff is happening because we are getting so enamored in right now. All right. I've no religion as I follow a bit of many. So what does that make me? A mosaic faith. How's that? Switch to Christian would be better name, or is that strange? Well, I've actually had the Our Walk in Christ brand for, since about blogs started. I launched that site first in like 2003 or 2004 or something. Launched that site a long time ago. So that's actually a brand that I had for a while. And there was times I've had tons and thousands of views on it in any given month. And I'm not as active on that right now just because I've been building up the switch to Linux. But I have the 3 channels I'm working towards: the Christian channel, the cooking channel, and that. I'm trying to get one more video edited for the cooking channel, and then I'm going to push that public this week, hopefully. Stop it. No. Kitty's still being mischievous back there. Let's see. Mark Yates, greetings. Okay. Did I move my thing down again? Let's see. I lost my place again. Okay. Let's see. I'm there. Makes you someone who can appreciate the value of religion in a society and someone who is probably open to most any religion. There you go. I think... Hello, Daniel. How's it going there? No, atheists tend to be very anti-religion. She said she likes aspects of all. Little here, little there, or as many as that. I am not an atheist. I just follow a bit of what I like from different religions. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in my experience, atheists tend to be anti-religious. Well, I mean, you need to understand the differences between theism anti-theism, atheism, and an anti-theist is a person who is actually hostile to religion. An atheist is somebody who doesn't believe in a God. An agnostic is somebody who's not sure if they're a God. Of course, a monotheist is a person who believes in one God. A polytheist is a person who believes in many gods. And a pantheist believes that everything is God. So wherever you fit in the middle of all of that is it. So atheists can be anti-religious. But, in many circles, an atheism is a religion unto itself. It's just a religion that says there's not a God. But an anti-theism is hostile to a God. I guess that makes booty Christianism. Ugh. I love root beer, but hard to get here. Bummer. Let's see. Pig Uniform, take a world religion class sometime. You will learn a ton of information about all kinds of religions, large and small. Those were the days. I remember rewinding music cassettes. Yes, rewinding the music tapes. Yep, I just played them around, flipped them, played them again. Rarely ever had to rewind unless you want to hear that same song over and over. I enjoyed the content of mine I took at the local college. It was just entirely too much homework. It ruined the class, I thought, which was good otherwise. You're right. I'm too good with worldwide religions, to be honest. I obviously made up Buddha Christianism. Stop it. No. Kitty's being bad over here. And he's just too cute to, smack out of the way, And they can't do that. For some reason, when I do these tinfoil hat times, he plays on my shelf. It's the only time he goes near that shelf. It's a microwave society nowadays. It's really faster than microwave. We're living in a day and age of instant gratification. Yep, that's it. Can I be a member? Guys, focus on today's topic. Okay. Went to 4-H camp with my friend Tech Bismo. It was horrible, almost like Disney religion. Uh-oh. Good Sunday, all. Hey, Damiano, how's it going there? They said Disney was streaming fireworks live. It was Windows Media Player, obviously. Legit VLC, but they only use Windows Media Player. Piggy, is there a quote, blessed for those who are prosecuted? I don't know. Proselytize? I don't know. Smack the cat away if bad. No, I can't. He's just too cute. It's hard to get my niece to understand the value of waiting when everything around her seems to happen and how she wants it. Seems to be a sense of entitlement. That's the thing, is that instant gratification leads to my desires right now, and that leads to a level of entitlement. Like, I want the whole world at my fingertips. That's kind of the biggest challenge here. Being cute is her weapon. You should not. Yeah, I know. Very strong-willed. It's her uncle. I can only do so much. Try to instill into her Christian values. Use Bic pen to rewind cassettes. No, a Bic pen would not rewind cassettes. It had to be grooved. It had to be a pencil. You could use a mechanical pencil, but the Bic pens are too round. You couldn't do it with that. All right. So what we're going to do now is just have a look at some fascinating articles that I found. So I liked a lot of the thoughts in these, and then we're going to come back to my final tips at the end. But these articles here will have some tips and things. Well, actually, let's start over here. The Culture of Impatience is pretty much just an article here talking about how this happens. They focus a lot more on what I didn't focus on in the article, but focusing on things like fast shipping. So nowadays you order something online and if you don't get it in 2 or 3 days, you're like, where's my stuff? And that's the thing is waiting. That's the only good thing I think about the modern computer age where you order something online is it's the only thing you can't get it. If we could order something in same day delivery, that the whole world I think would implode on itself. I know that there are some instances you can do that, but we're talking most stuff. However, the stores are moving in that direction because Amazon knows if they get instant delivery done, like same day delivery done, their sales would increase like 20%. They'd beat out the Walmart because the only major advantage of going to Walmart is I look at the stuff and get it today. And this is why stores that have the ship to the store option is not always quite as good because I can always ship it to my home with Amazon, And so you get that kind of going. Of course, they say here, to capitalize on desire, companies are taking some consumer anxiety and sprinting with it, offering same-day delivery services, eliminating the need of the wait for a taxi, and providing the ability to stream full seasons of TV shows within seconds. And that really is that challenge where we're at, is this world where everything is trying to get us everything right now. And that gets to the point where we have so little gratification. We're doing everything on plastic, and it's just like we don't even think about it. We don't think about the fact that the money is leaving our account and going into their account simply because there's no money exchanging hands. We're just either swiping, or even worse, just grabbing your phone and waving it. Woo, wave it and go. And that's kind of where we're at. And when we get to this point where we're so instantly gratified, we will seek instant stimulation at all times. And if that instant stimulation does not come, then we start to seek it in bad places. And that is kind of the point we're trying to make. This guy here is another article on the similar trend. So they're just looking at the instant gratification, like the instant speed of things is just making us really, like, here's negative side effects include a need for instant gratification and a loss of patience. When we lose patience, we get angry easy, and when we get angry easy, this leads to a lot of the explosive issues we're getting in our society. And so you have a little bit of this kind of craziness going on. They were looking at how quick it takes for videos to load up. If a video takes more than 10 seconds, people will abandon ship, really. So the abandonment rate, if it takes, 10 seconds, the abandonment rate is about 50%. If it takes 30 seconds, the abandonment rate's about 90%. And so, it's just like looking at all this kind of stuff. Now the challenge is we can get subscription services from Amazon. If you haven't noticed lately, if you're not a Prime member, the amount of time it takes to get something from Amazon now has greatly increased. Like, they don't even ship stuff out for 3 weeks. It used to be the point where if you bought something on Amazon, it had to be shipped within 2 days. They don't do that anymore. I'm frequently seeing a week pass before simple orders are fulfilled on Amazon. Of course, if you want it now, you pay the annual fee for Amazon Prime, and that pushes you up in the shipment queue. But so, of course, you can get stuff now based on that, and the instant gratification causes you to spend the money you probably don't have to get the shipping to you faster to get you more online with those trends. So that's kind of where that's looking at. Let's see, our comments are going crazy again. Yellow pencil. Yep. Okay. I meant the whole religion thing started, not whole religion started. Whoops. The content curator is also Christian. Yeah, I might have started it by talking about some of that stuff myself. I try to keep the Christian stuff more to a minimum on this channel, just because there's a wider audience in that, and I try and focus on the social and the privacy issues. But it comes out because that's who I am. Okay, if I order online, I prefer cheapest delivery. Don't care if it takes a week. Yep, good for you. And that's the way we should go. Waiting is something should be tough to kids as it is a lesson learned, which is self-control. Absolutely. Why can't you edit live YouTube comments? I have no idea. I can delete them. What can I do? I can go to your channel. I can report. I can remove. I can put the user in timeout. I can block, or I can add as a moderator. Scary stuff. I's got the power. Naturally, that's going to affect his lifestyle, and beliefs on the topic are really tied into it. Yep. I actually used cassette tapes pretty late in my time when young. I had a player that rewound it for me. Nice. Politics and religion run by faith and believe. In my honest opinion, whatever you believe in, never hurt others by your act or based upon your belief. I think Amazon now has a premium fee, which is not needed in my view. Yeah, okay. There's some cassette tapes. Don't know if they're active or not. I still have a bunch of cassette tapes as well. Greetings, muggles. Am I non-magical folk? Oh, boy. All right. So here's some neat articles here on if you are struggling with instant gratification. This article had some steps. I have some tips on my article as well. We'll look at that one last. But here at, what is instant gratification? Of course, it's caused by this, food is instant, credit cards pay instantly, television media is available instantly. Everything around us is so instantly available that we get so sucked into this constant need for stimuli, and that is kind of the challenge here. And so with this, what they're going to do is they're going to look at some of the things. So here's some actionable ideas. Consider long-term consequences of action. So this is the thing a lot of people do not think about anymore, is if I do X, Y, or Z, what is the long-term reaction of what's going to happen? And that is something that a lot of folks just it doesn't pass their mind. Practice developing self-control. Pursue long-term rewards, like saving up for something instead of putting it on credit. Prepare for short-term pain. And display visual reminders of goals and priorities. Keep yourself accountable. So, what does it mean to delay gratification? What this means is that I have two options before me. I can either, be nice, fit, without a lot of health issues, or I can enjoy this really fattening candy or junk right now instantly. Which one do I do? And that is kind of where we're looking at. Instant gratification seeks that instant pleasure. It's that childish pleasure that just you seek it. But delaying gratification means that you are being a whole lot more responsible with your time and with your life. And that's kind of where you want to get to. So they give here a lot of just broad questions to ask yourself. The next article will just give some very specifics. All right, so first you must understand where you're going. So this is where goal setting can come into play. So take your goal idea and write that down and know where you want to go. And then when some item comes in front of you, ask yourself, does this help me achieve my goal or does this not help me achieve my goal? And then identifying the obstacles. This comes into that whole temptation thing. Is this helping my goal or is this going to hurt my goal? And then how can I handle a temptation that pops up in my life? So something comes up that's, I have a goal to get a website done, but I'm really tempted to read, or listen to or watch 5 more videos. I should really put the videos on hold or, focus. I could play them and focus on writing the content or whatever if I can possibly do 2 things at once. Otherwise, I am going to have to just sit back and go, you know what? I can't do those videos right now because they conflict with my goal of finishing this website. And so ask yourself what you can do about it. The support network is very important. So with the support network, what you want to do is identify the key people who can help you in your journey. These are people that you deeply trust. You can share your life with them. You can share your goal with them, and you let them hold you accountable. You give them the permission to say, stop that. And that is what you want to do. And let's see, setting clear boundaries. What are you allowed to do? What are absolutely off limits? And then figure out where other things lie in between there. And of course, having a reward system. Now, this article goes on for quite a while. You can have a look at it. It's linked from my site at Switch to Linux. So you can have a look at that one. All right. Reason we use pen or pencil rewind tapes is to save batteries. Now you don't have to worry because your batteries are rechargeable. Do no harm. I will completely agree with you about faith, religion in general. At the end of the day, do no harm and expect people's boundaries and know your own. Absolutely. That is right. The comments are already online and shown up. Deleting doesn't cure them. Ha 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 ha. Make me mod. Don't worry, nothing will happen. Oh yeah, with that evil face? Yeah. IQ Matrix. Are we in the Matrix? Apparently we are in the Matrix. We'll know. But say Tom is about to read it. Edit and before he scrolls. There you go. Yep. Everything has consequences, which is why I do not make my wife, because I do not want to be in the doghouse. Uh-oh. Watch out for that doghouse. All right. This one here is actually from Zen Habits. I like this one because it really tied the concept of instant gratification back into minimalism, which I'm of course into. And so for me, I really liked this. I liked the idea here of looking at what they had to say. So they're talking about, what is instant gratification. The first way is instant gratification, pleasurable food, the riches of the internet, video games, TV, drink, online shopping, anything we want, anytime that we want it, and with no limits, no restraints. And what ends up happening to us is our life spins out of control. First way leads to debt, clutter, bad health, distractions, and mindlessness. And when you are living mindlessly, that's what happens is you get into this auto mode. And at the end of the day, you're so tired, you'll just do anything. Like the bowl of candy will be there and you'll just be chowing down. Before you look down, the whole thing's empty. You're like, where'd all that candy go? Oh, I ate it. That's what happens with instant gratification is we get so caught up in fulfilling our own internal desires that we forget. Sometimes we have to push off our own internal desires for a better ultimate life in the end. Of course, we're not saying to abandon all hope. Anyway, let's see. And if you do fall into this, it will take you a long time out. That's why I say microwave problems and Croc-Pot solutions, because getting into this stuff is fast and easy. Getting out takes a lot of intentionality and a lot of difficulty. So here's the second way of living. Eat simple food in moderation. Enjoy the internet, but with limits so we can focus on important work. Get away from TV and computers once in a while. Enjoy nature, being active and exercising. Shopping less and having less possessions. Finding focus and being more mindful. All right? And so it's not that we don't indulge in treats of the first kind, but we do it with restraint. So everything in moderation and with specific set goals and specific set boundaries. That is exactly where you need to get to. So how do you overcome it? Well, what this group is saying is, number one is watch the urges. So when you have this instant urge to do this instant thing, you just need to keep it in check somehow. So we have the urges to check email or social media, to eat something sweet or fried or procrastinate, find other distractions. All of us are impacted by that. The question is, are we going to stand up and move forward in the right direction? The first step is to see the urges arise. What I've done is carried a pencil and piece of paper around and put little tally marks on a paper every time I had an urge. That is awesome. Actually, I have a little notebook. Let me grab it. Hold on a second. Okay. This notebook sits on my desk, and it has a lot of little things. Actually, I think this might be a good exercise to try. So I have just like, if you flip through this, you'd have no idea what it's about. It's just like a series of little check marks, tiny micro goals, just little things. And it's just like, it's just weird. This thing here is specifically about keeping tack, keeping tallies, just weird little odds and ends like this. And I think I might actually use that notebook and do that again. Mark those little urges that you have and just tally them up. Check, check, check. Do that for about a week, and then maybe even a brief sentence. What caused the distraction? What did you do? Did you act on it? Did you not act on it? And then what happens is you can keep stock of where you are, and once you know the challenges, you can then figure out how to overcome them. And that is kind of that important point where you need to get to. The second is delay. Instead of acting on the urge right when it arises, pause. There's a guy who has a fabulous channel. It is called What I've Learned. And he talks in several places. It's one of his videos I don't really care for, but the rest of it is like awesome. Pretty awesome channel. He's talking about what he did to avoid, I forget exactly what, maybe it was avoiding procrastination or something else, or maybe it was impulse, avoiding this impulse. He would say it might have been getting off of junk food and stuff. He'd have the urge to have junk food, candy, and then he'd replace that instant urge with another habit. What this other thing, in fact, this book was inspired by a TED Talk, and the website where the guy was from, his website is called tinyhabits.com. And what the idea of tiny habits is identifying simple urges or little steps or little habits and attaching what is called a micro habit to it. So he talked about establishing a micro habit. The funny example he uses, go to the bathroom and then do 10 push-ups. Well, by the end of the day, you will have done 100 push-ups over the course of your day. And he tracked all his weight over a year of doing 10 push-ups every time he went to the bathroom. And it was just amazing to see what he did. So you can attach little habits to things like light switches. There's a light switch right here out of view of the camera. Flip the light switch on, do something. Flip the light switch off, do something. So it was the concept of attaching one habit to another habit. And that way, as you automatically do things, you attach other good positive behaviors. So what he's talking about here is delaying, identifying the urge, stop, meditate, think on the urge. You may still do it, but at least you're doing it more consciously now. That is where we need to get to. Put some space between the urge and your action. Let your heartbeat return to normal, your breathing become a bit deeper, calm down, and then you can make a logical decision. Am I going to act on this impulse? Yes or no? All right. Make the conscious decision. If you decide to indulge, that's perfectly fine. Just do it consciously. I think we already looked at that. And then learn over time. There will be many times when you give in to your urges. That's okay. We all do it. There's nothing wrong with giving in sometimes, but the key is to see how that makes you feel afterwards. Learn whether the decision was a good one or not. And then the next time the decision comes back, think back to the previous time. That's where that checkbook can be in place. I had the urge. I did the urge. Write down a sentence. What is that urge helpful or not? And then I can meditate on that a little bit throughout the day, and that will help me to refine my life and my habits throughout the day to figure out what the types of things are you need to do to get more further on in your life. And then enjoy the moment without following the urge. So don't go from urge to urge to urge. Go consciously throughout your life. So that is kind of the points they're trying to make. All right. 2017, I can't even afford a flip phone. I actually want one. What? I got a few of them actually laying around. Never used my phone for anything but texting, music, and calling. That is awesome. And that is where you need to get to. That is, I have a special bowl for ice cream, so I do not eat more than that amount. Nice. That's good. I have so many urges, but once I master that urge, it goes away and then becomes natural and no more urge. Yep. Some good old-fashioned willpower. There you go. Yep. Good old-fashioned willpower. A lot of good old-fashioned willpower. All that really was is just being conscious about your actions. And Rita, I have a method of eating specific amount too. It's called the ice cream box. Yum. I make my own ice cream, so words, it makes me fat and mad when my pants feel tight. Sun is a deadly laser. All right. Now, of course, I identify on my site here what I consider the problem with instant gratification. I consider the problem with instant gratification is that it makes us impatient. Our impatience, we seek more personal gratification when things are not going the way that we want. So any little struggle shows up and we get delayed on something else instead. This causes us to seek pleasure in times we should be working or seek pleasure in times of boredom. We have to watch another episode, download another song, or worse, could turn to other forms of bad gratification. Either of these options can lead to forms of addiction that will get in our way of life, destroying relationships, and wreck our lives. We have to take an active stand for ourselves against instant gratification. So, to do battle with instant gratification, I've identified some low-tech items and some high-tech items. Let me know your ways of delaying instant gratification. Who knows? Maybe I'll drop them in the website here when we're done. But what I said is the first thing that I say is, for low-tech things, use a longer line at the grocery store. This will help you extend your patience. So pretty much as you're going on through your life, what is going on, figure out those things that can help you build your patience. That's the idea, is build the patience. So if you go to the grocery store, provided you're not on this super rigid calendar or something, take the longer line at the grocery store instead of the shorter line. Learn a little bit more patience. Learn to slow down. Be more observant of the world around you. Number 2, do your budgeting, scheduling, other basic life tasks like that. Do those types of tasks on paper. Now, you might integrate them with a computer later, but if you do everything on paper, it gives you that slow down speed to separate yourself from the tech and puts more intentionality behind what you're doing. 3 is use cash rather than credit or debit cards. This will give you a lot, you won't get so caught up in that idea of just slide, take, slide, take, slide, take. You're not thinking about things. The idea is to become conscious. Hey, So read real books instead of digital books when you can. I love real books. I'm moving my library to some digital stuff. Just as I'm cutting out minimalism, I'll read a book, and then if it's available digital, I'll get it digital. That way I can get rid of some of the excess books I have laying around. But when I can, you want to slow down and read a real physical paper book. It is greatly beneficial for you. For the tech-related items, do manual backups at least once a month. Do not rely fully rely on pure automation. Maybe I should change that sentence structure. The idea here is that you need to have a good backup strategy, and if you need to do an automatic backup strategy, that's fine. But take some time once a month at a set time and do hardcore manual real backups, making sure that you have things. And this way, you'll add that intentionality back to your life. Sometimes leave the phone at home. If you go for a walk, leave the phone at home, certainly minimize the amount of time you're spending on the phone. And speaking about the phone, we'll slip down to number 4. Only use the phone for on-the-move internet. Like, don't sit there at your house and constantly be on your phone. It'll get you so ready for constantly using the phone. But using that streaming service or using the phone for the internet on the phone only when you're on the move is a great way to not be so reliant. And this way you can shut down the computers, put down the phone, and do something non-tech related. Only occasionally, if ever, use streaming services. I prefer not to use streaming services. Wait until, maybe find a schedule that you can watch certain things. But don't sit there and have a streaming service and binge all your programs out, because then you're going to find another program to binge. And you're going to look up and waste so much of your time binging programs on streaming services that you will wish you had that time back. But it will also create in you that instant gratification. And then set up very specific internet free times in your life. There are times that you don't have a computer on, you don't have a phone with you, you don't have a tablet with you. Just disconnect from the internet for some period of time. So those are kind of my points. Now you'll notice all of those solutions take a lot more time. They remove automation from your life, and they require discipline to achieve. And discipline is the root solution here, and it is antithetical to instant gratification. Discipline stays on one side of the spectrum and instant gratification is on the other. You need to get to that point when you can delay your gratification, become disciplined, push the instant gratification away. That is going to deeply help you in the long run. All right, we have a few comments here to look towards. Who's hungry? I'm a bit peckish. Yeah, I only eat once a day and I haven't eaten yet, so I'm actually quite hungry. I have some chicken thawing right now. I'm going to cook some chicken up when we're done here. References from history of the entire world, I guess. Pass a bowl of popcorn to the group. That does sound good. I'm always hungry, but I learn not to go shopping when hungry. Only, and then, let's see. Which helps. Yeah, don't go shopping when you're hungry. Make a list and stick to the list and only the things on the list. It's Tom for the cook. Digital books, just my preference. All right. Okay. I just ate yogurt. I'm just eating the spoon right now because I feel like I'm still eating while I'm watching because I'm too lazy to get up and grab more yogurt. I make my own yogurt too. That's fun. Pass the bag of marshmallow and Tom gets on fire. Woo! We could get on fire. Yep, back at the end of the month. Back up my accounting too. All right. What service do you use? I'm forced to use bloody Verizon by my family. For internet or for cell phones? I used to watch 20 TV shows when I had cable TV. Now I do not watch 8. Okay. Use 7-Eleven for cheap service, basic and cheap. Using Kodi with multiple services and one called Exodus for free TV shows. No, it's pirating, but I'm poor. Don't admit the pirating online there, man. Yeah, it's... can I say about instant gratification? I am frustrated. I'm very frustrated with everything that, you know, we want this digital revolution. We want the industrial revolution. It's supposed to free up our time and free up our spaces so we can have better lives. And we, despite we in theory have more automation and in everything instantly, our lives are more rushed than ever. We try and fit more things in, and everything just kind of goes in the wrong direction. And that's kind of where we're at. You know, just being intentional on things, I think is what we need to do. And so, really, it's slowing down. It's being intentional, and just, you know, that's it, really. Well, we've kind of reached the bottom of the comments here, and we've kind of reached the bottom of the articles here. I'm just readjusting my kitty cam. Got a little bit messed up. Let's see. Microsoft causes everything. There you go. Switch to Linux for phone service. I'm using Verizon. It's, you know, about as good as anything else I'm going to get. So I guess that's what we're going to say on that. All right, folks, I think we're going to wrap up this edition of Tinfoil Hat Time. We're going to feed the kitty cat some kitty treats. So we'll wrap it up with, yeah, you. I see the kitty's looking at me. And so we'll go ahead and wrap that up. So thanks for watching, everybody. And I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. So we're going to go over to the kitty cam, and then we are going to feed the kitty cat. See everybody later. Have a good one.